Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall tells me it's 10 minutes past 11 on Sunday night, back with a plethora of stuff for tomorrow. Take your pick at what you want. It's all flat tomorrow, and the next day it'll be all jumps with the Punchestown Festival starting on Tuesday. I had planned to go Wednesday and Friday, but I was told tonight I'd get a lift to Tuesday, so probably go when I get the lift, and I'll drive Wednesday. For fear I mightn't be able to go Friday. My neighbour is still with us. She is gravely ill, but I was up to see her last night, and actually I thought she had slightly improved, but she's very weak. And she did say to me when I went in, when I held her hand, she said, "It's very hard to die." And that's the first couple of words she had said in a couple of days, I believe. So she won't be long more with us. She said, before I left, she said, "I wish I could be gone out of everyone's way, but for fear that might happen later in the week, that I might be able to go Friday. We'll see, because I'm back on the road again Saturday." Big parties going on in the Royal County tonight. For the first time in 15 years, they've beaten the Dubs. I had 2 pints earlier in an establishment that I knew there would be a former midfielder having a pint. He's married to a Roscommon woman, and he was there, and he'd be there all night, and he'd be there tomorrow night. He said he might do the week. Clare were beaten, and Donegal won. Donegal and Armagh meeting the week after. I think it's on a Saturday evening. I was talking to a couple of Donegal men, and it's at 5:30, I think, on the Saturday evening. They're not too happy about it. They thought it'd be on the Sunday. We had, since I met, when did I meet you last? I was with you Friday night when I was in the Glen Royal. I met the crowd I was with. I had 1 pint with them at about 11 o'clock. Stayed with them until 12. The 3 women were drinking cocktails at €13 a go, and the 3 men were drinking pints of Guinness at $7.50 a shot. And they had no hangovers the next morning as we left at 8:15. Headed to the airport, so off to Logan Airport in Boston they did go, and had a great time. We had 3 when the scatter horses running on Saturday. We had 2 on the flat. We had 1 winner in My Al. The race panned out just as I expected. I was hoping that it would take the lead and be hard pegged back, which it did. And then we had 1 on the flat, Surrey Bell. Can't understand it didn't win. The bob before the line, it was ahead, and the bob after the line, it was ahead. And just, I don't know, he was ahead and he let him get first run, and I was disappointed that he didn't win because he bet him before. That's that first time ever that horse, the winner, won on the grass. I thought I did handicap right, but it wasn't to be because I had a nice double and a Trixie. That's in 2 consecutive days, the horse has let me down for a nice few pound, which would have been grand in the wheelbarrow heading to Punchestown. In Sandown, turned out John Bond beaten by a horse we had backed before, off so long. Great training performance by Willie, the champion trainer. I can't understand they don't have it, not because of Willie winning, but why the difference with the money counting for the trainers and not counting for the jockeys? Should it not be the same for everybody? Because the winner of the Grand National is always going to have a massive advantage. That race alone, pulling that amount, but probably won't change it anyway. But Resplendent Glory won the big race. He was 7.5, 8 to 1 the night before. That form of the National Hunt Chase has stood up really well, with Hotter Killorn winning the Irish Grand National. Bunting ran poor, gambled on, take your chances, ran out of puff, risking the ground. All 3 races in 16 days proved too much, and Paul Nicholls' horse in the first race is a proper pig. On to tomorrow. Where am I here? We have 1 bus horse out tomorrow, and the rest are all ones I had sort of been tracking. And there's a 2 mile on the flat at Lingfield in the first race. I like to tackle those 2 mile races if I can, or the mile 6, the staying races. We have one that we spotted a couple of times before, Ayr Agathon, back from a bit of a break. There's the horse there that might suit the surface and the. Did I ever say the complexion of the race before? I never did. I won't use it either. The way the race might be ran, and I might like the surface. It run well in Lingfield before of 57, and it's 59, and the £7 allowance to bring it back down to 52. Ashley Lewis for Karen Jewell. That's the selection in that race, the Colorist. We have a race in Windsor, the 6:30. It's a mile 2, good to Ferrum. The 4-year-olds have a particularly good strike rate in this race down through the years. 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. And 4 is back here again. And I thought a 4-year-old had a right chance. I don't know what I was going to say there. In this, stepping up in trip. Promethean. We spotted him a couple of times lately in videos that we were looking at with other horses in it, namely the horse that was 3rd in this race that won for us the other day, Mayal. Now, this other lad is on the rail in the green cap, and he gets hampered a little, and he cocks his jaw when he doesn't see the gap, gets a bit bowled. He runs on, he finishes 7th. But that was in the spring mile.
Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
The centre of the track, it's Mayal who's just about in front of Pressure's On, who's giving chase. Helmrock is making ground towards the near side, the green and red. Mayal's in front though with a furlong to go in the spring mile. Now the grey Surrey Shadow on the far side, and also Arthur's Realm is running on, and Thunder Roar as well, and also Pearl Eye from out of the clouds, deep inside the last half furlong. Here comes Pearl Eye with Thunder Roar, is going to get close. Thunder Roar maybe from Pearl Eye, but it's tight. Goes to judge either Thunder Roar or Pearl.
Step Up and Trip, there's no harem. He was off 85 there. I presume he wasn't dropped. He was dropped £1. Manusier is 3 for 14, 21%. Tom Marquand. So he's worth a bet. Well, let's check the prices. Nice music in the background. 3-1 shot. He was 4 earlier. We have a race at Ayr. A 1 miles 5, 26 yards. There's a horse here that might be worth a punt each way. A horse that was bought at the sales in October 23 for 5,000 after being bought for 360,000. What a loss that was. He only ran twice for Joseph O Brien. It was 4th first time out behind Serious Challenge that we've seen recently a couple of times. The dispute the Jim Bulger Air now over the jumps in England. Then it was ran in a maiden in October 23 prior to going to the sales. Went to Rebecca Menzies. But the last day it ran at a trip. 2 mile. Stepping up like 8.5 furlongs. Well, that's nearly 9 in Galway. 1.5 maiden. 1.5 a mile. And then he ran, went off a 12-1 shot, Kaya Fraser riding. But he tanked into the race That's him in the yellow. And at a mile 6, he had the race won, but he didn't stay.
Away towards the final half mile.
This lad here.
Captain Potter getting a squeeze along. Agathon is down on the inside. Fashionel, Toby Tops is right in behind them, and now Loughnane is starting to go through the gears. Incan Empire has got company, and it's Fashionel who's taken over. Up on the running rail, Agathon is still travelling quite strongly. Away to the left, Toby Tops now tries to produce the challenge from right off the pace. Inside the final 2, Toby Tops on the left trying to join up sides Fashionel, and Agathon who runs the rail. They've gone well clear of Captain Potter, and Incan Empire's got no more. Into the last furlong, Toby Tops now is starting to...
That's all she wrote. It's related to Agartha. Actually one for the bus going back a couple of years ago. It was also a Woodlands Stakes race, I think, for us going back. But it was a 9-1 shot there earlier. I thought it was worth an each way bet. 10 declared 3 places. We go on to Naas. I've 3 picked out at Naas. What have we picked out at Naas? We have a horse that opened up at 7-1 this evening. It's into 4s. A horse that we backed the last year that we were really sweet on. That had been a fast finisher behind Laugh a Minute in the Curragh over 6. I thought the step up and trip with Shane Foley. That was the day that Hurricane Ivor went out in front and strayed them. Got into a bit of bother. Back to a fast run 6. Looks to be more suitable. Bit of a break. It's into 4-1. We'll give it another shot. It's only a 4-year-old. Now, the favourite is from the stable as well, Noble Station. But that's put up £15 for its win the last day, and it's a pound out of the handicap, so that's £16. That's a lot of pounds of butter in your bag, on your back. I think Love Billy Boy will give him a shot. I had it down as an each way bet. So it's a win bet now at this point, unless it drifts out. In Naas as well, we have a bus horse tomorrow in the Woodlands Stakes. 2 stars. Now it's £7 wrong at the weights with my mate Alfie, who was a revelation last year, winning 4 out of 6. 4 out of the last 6. Needed a couple of runs last year, so it made it needed. I see it's entered for a Group 2 in York. We're on 2 stars the last day. Bit of cut in the ground, 5 furlong, absolutely hosed up. That's him in front.
Red Kiki and Greatest Drama racing to the final furlong, and it's 2 stars and Joey Shedden kicking on by over 2 lengths to Betson and Stag Knight Magical Vision, but there's no catching 2 stars here. Is moving away to win well from Betson with the 3rd going to the judge.
The time was about 1:02, which is okay. I forgot to compare it with the year before of that particular race. But he needed the lead, or wanted the lead, the horse did. He was free when he came out of the stall, and he just sent him about his business. It was the right thing to do. So let's test the fitness tomorrow of the Fav. That's 2 stars opened up 5-2, into 7-4. Moss Tucker, our buddy, old pal, old neighbour, old friend, one of the last 2 years. I don't know where he is this year. He must be a bit early for him yet, is it? Or is it that he's gone over the top? Looks to be a 2-horse market. Big Gosfield seems to want farther at this stage. So hopefully we're fit enough to see tomorrow. And then there's a handicap tomorrow. The favourite is a maiden winner for Coolmore recently, Mrs. Hippie River. But if you look at the form of that horse, the top weight beat it in Galway last year and beat it nicely. And he was giving it £5. And that went off odds on that day. He beat it. and he's given it £8. It's only £3 worse, but he had a grand run the last day behind that Henry Matiste. He's a bit slow there, but like they're rated 116, 100, 110. This Hasdan is no slouch, but he wasn't too busy on him up the stretch when he got him into position. So with the run, he's an each way bet. He's 8 to 1 or 7 to 1, isn't it? And they're paying 5 places in some of them. It's 15 to 2 to take on this lad. Now this lad was fierce impressive last week, Scott Key, and he wouldn't have got into this race only for he won that day. He's carrying a penalty. He had been behind St. Brandon, who had won again below in Mallow. But the top weight is classy enough. So he's an each way bet there at paying 5 places at what's he carrying? £7 penalty. He won well the last for the Slatteries. Three-year-olds. Joseph hasn't won it before, no. He might be eager. Now about to get this into the oven and bash the bookies over and out.